for the misconception that Islam encourages violence and hatred. Two reasons can be attributed. The first reason, of course, is the inhuman and foolish actions of a minuscule, misguided minority of the Muslim community. The second reason is the deliberate vilification campaign orchestrated by the Western media with the intention of maligning Islam, the Quran and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There cannot be two opinions about the fact that the vast majority of the Western media is prejudiced against Islam. They are the ones who constantly propagate that Islam is against equality and freedom, that Islam preaches hatred and violence, and that Islam commands Muslims to kill the followers of other faiths and to destroy their place of worship. Before providing answers to these allegations, first of all, we have to understand the double standards adopted by the Western media in these matters. The very same people who call Iran, Iraq, Libya and other Muslim populated countries as terrorist states refuse to label the United States of America as the #1 terrorist nation for creating the darkest day in human history by dropping atom bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing thousands of innocent people, destroying their cities, and causing torment and agony to the lives of generations of people in those places. Remember that this most horrendous and callous crime on humanity was carried out by the US in order to avenge the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, which resulted in the death of less than 1,000 Americans. The attack was carried on unsuspecting people who never even had heard about the attack on Pearl Harbor in wildest dreams. Yet the Western media often projects the US as a sentinel of world peace. The very same people who call Iran, Iraq, Libya and other Muslim populated countries as rogue nations refuse to call America the #1 rogue nation for attacking or threatening to attack countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, North Korea, Iran, Somalia, Chile, Nicaragua, Colombia, Iraq and Afghanistan, which are located far away from its boundaries. And that too, when America has nothing to fear from its only neighbors like Canada and Mexico. The very same people who criticize that Islam is against democracy refuses to criticize the US for supporting Israel, and also those military generals and totalitarian rulers who suppresses the basic democratic rights and liberties of people in many countries of Asia, Africa and Latin America. Why do they not criticize America and Europe for not recognizing the election victory of Hamas in Palestine and Islamic Party's victory at Algeria? Does democracy means election of those parties which dance at the tune of America and its allies? Still, for these media giants, America is the guardian of democracy and people's liberty. The very same people who charge that Islam is against human rights refuse to criticize the US for endorsing the brutalities unleashed by the Israel regime against the hapless Palestinians, for holding so many Muslims without trial in the prisons in the US, for CIA's interrogation cells and its secret detention centers outside the US. If either Christians or Jews were imprisoned in a likewise manner, the Western media would have created such a big issue of it until they make sure that there is a public outcry, the like of which that has never been witnessed or heard before. Still, for these newsmakers, the US is the custodian of human rights.